From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. U.S. turns to private firms in cyber offensive. Late last week, Bloomberg sources say that the U.S. administration is preparing a new national cyber strategy that would enlist private companies to help carry out offensive cyber operations against criminal and state-backed attackers. The plan would expand the government's cyber capacity, but raises legal and security risks, since private firms currently lack clear authority to conduct attacks and could become targets themselves. The strategy also calls for streamlining cyber regulations, modernizing federal systems, and accelerating post-quantum security, with more details expected through an executive order or legislation. Microsoft updates cause queuing failures. Microsoft said its latest Patch Tuesday updates introduced a breaking change to the message queuing or MSMQ security model, causing enterprise apps and some sites to fail on Windows 10 22H2 and Windows Server 2016 and 2019. The updates altered NTFS permissions on a core MSMQ system folder, requiring write access normally limited to administrators, which can trigger misleading resource errors and disrupt clustered environments. Admins now face rolling back the patches or leaving systems exposed. MSMQ has a history of critical remote code execution flaws. Russian phishing campaign delivers phantom stealer. Researchers at Secrete Labs have identified a Russian-linked phishing campaign dubbed Operation Money Mount ISO that delivers phantom stealer malware using ISO files to bypass email security controls. The attack uses fake payment confirmation emails in Russian, luring finance-related staff into opening a zip file that contains a malicious ISO, which mounts a disguised executable and injects the stealer directly into memory. Phantom Stealer harvests browser credentials, financial and crypto data, keystrokes, and tokens, exfiltrating the information via Telegram, Discord, and FTP. Jaguar Land Rover payroll data stolen. Jaguar Land Rover disclosed that the cyber attack that shut down its factories back in August also included theft of sensitive payroll data belonging to thousands of current and former employees, including bank details and tax information. JLR says there's no evidence of misuse so far, but has warned staff to watch for fraud and phishing. The attack is attributed to the Scattered Lapsus Hunters Group and has already cost JLR around £1.5 billion in lost sales and has been classified as a systemic event that could cost the UK economy more than £2 billion. Huge thanks to our sponsor, Adaptive Security. This episode is brought to you by Adaptive Security, the first cybersecurity company backed by OpenAI. Attackers don't need malware anymore, they need trust. Tip: set a simple passphrase for high-risk actions, like wire requests or urgent account recovery, especially within finance teams and families. If the caller can't answer it, pause and verify. Adaptive runs deepfake and phishing simulations, so employees practice this before it is real. Learn more at adaptivesecurity.com. CISA adds Apple and Gladinet Center Stack and Trio Fox flaws to exploits. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, known as CISA, added 2 vulnerabilities to its known exploited catalog. A use after free flaw in Apple's WebKit affecting iOS, iPadOS, and macOS, which we told you about yesterday, and a hard-coded AES key issue in Gladinet Center Stack and Trio Fox. Both have been actively targeted, including in sophisticated attacks against high-value individuals. Federal agencies are required to remediate these flaws by January 5th. Private organizations should review and patch affected systems to prevent exploitation. OpExis says background checks missed flags before insider breach. U.S. federal contractor OpExis admits it failed to identify red flags when hiring twin brothers Munib and Sohaib Akhtar, who had pleaded guilty to cybercrimes in 2015. Back in February of this year, minutes after being fired, Munib allegedly deleted 96 U.S. government databases and stole sensitive records from DHS, IRS, and EEOC. OpExis has acknowledged errors in hiring, termination, and access controls, and has enhanced background checks to 10 years. The brothers face up to 45 years in prison for computer fraud, data theft, and aggravated identity theft. Chrome extension intercepts AI chats. Chrome extension Urban VPN Proxy, which has 6 million users, was found intercepting all prompts and responses from AI chatbots like ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, Gemini, and Meta AI. The extension was updated back in July and collects this data through injected JavaScript and sends it to 2 servers. The company shares raw data with its affiliated ad intelligence firm ByScience, which also owns Urban Cybersecurity. Similar harvesting was observed in 3 other extensions from the same publisher. Google shutters dark web tool. Google emailed users that on February 16th, it is shutting down its dark web report tool, which monitored email addresses on the dark web. Dark web scans will end on January 15th, and all data will be deleted on the shutdown date. Google said feedback claimed it didn't provide helpful next steps, and it plans to focus on tools going forward, offering actionable guidance like security checkup, password manager, passkeys, and 2-step verification. CISOs first appeared in the C-suite more than 30 years ago, but their responsibilities and function within an organization still vary pretty wildly. Organizations need to understand how their CISO operates if they want to make them effective. We dig into how to bridge that gap in our latest CISO Series podcast episode. Look for the episode, How Much Risk Would a CISO Risk If a CISO Could Risk, wherever you get your podcasts. If you have thoughts on the news from today or about our show in general, be sure to reach out to us, feedback@cisoseries.com. We would love to hear from you. I am Sarah Lane reporting for the CISO Series, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to cisoseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.